So I don't know about you, but I am in this space right now where I am genuinely learning how to trust my timeline, and I can't help but feel like you are as well. That's the vibe I'm getting right now through this connection that we've got going on right now. I'm definitely catching the vibe that you are in a space where you are having to learn how to trust your own timeline, and that is the best place for you to be in. And what I mean by trust your own timeline is that we have to acknowledge that at some point, someone, I call him God, someone is steering the ship. Now, are you in control of your life? To a degree, yes, you are, 100%. But is your story already written for you? Abso-fucking-lutely. And all you have to do is trust and believe that you are in the right space at the right time right now. So what I'm trying to say here is that there is a collective of us that want to skip stages in our lives, because where we are right now feels a bit sucky. It doesn't feel like it's convenient. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we planned. We didn't originally have this. I didn't want to be a parent. I didn't want to be, a mother at this age. I didn't want to be living at home with my parents at this age. I didn't want to be not in a financial position that I'm in a financial position that I'm currently in. I didn't want to be working at this job anymore by this specific point in time. I didn't want to be doing these certain things that I said by the time I reach a certain age I'm going to be doing this, but I'm actually not doing it. I'm doing something completely opposite, and I am not happy with where I'm at right now, and I would like to skip to the next fucking chapter, please. And that is just not how it works. That is really, really, really just not how it works. I think we just need to acknowledge that where we are right now is exactly where not me mixing two words together. Again, welcome. I always do this. I lost my train of thought. Oh no, it's gone. There we go. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. This is going to be a very short video, by the way, because I'm just getting to the point with this one. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. There is nowhere else in your timeline that you're supposed to be on. Like, in that Marvel movie where he's like Thanos has like the Infinity Stones and stuff like that, and then Doctor Strange plucks a stone out of the timeline and she's like, you have to put it back exactly where you took it from, otherwise you mess up the entire continuum. So essentially your life is like the same thing. You're not allowed to just go ahead and take yourself out of the equation in this particular moment in time and then pluck yourself into a different timeline. You can't physically do that. Mentally you can. That's called manifesting. That's called law of assumption. But you can't. That's a whole nother conversation. But physically you are where you are right now because you've done certain things to get you where you are. So if you're not happy with your current life, you are the person that gets to change it. You are steering the ship here. You get to be the Capitan, okay? The El Capitan. You get to be in charge of, I would say 100% of the results you're getting are I don't want to say your fault, an outcome of your decisions. There we go, we'll go with that. Your life right now is the outcome of your current decisions, your past decisions and your current ones right now. So if you're in a job that you absolutely hate, it's because you're staying there. If you're in a relationship that does not fulfill you and fuel your life, it's because you're staying there. If you are in a situation where you're like, I absolutely hate X, it's because you are staying there. It's because you are contributing to X's existence. Okay, so that is the first thing. But with that being said, God has completely written out your book, and all you get to do is choose to go down this path or this path. Either way, you're going to end up exactly where he wants you to end up. But in our human experience, we get to choose which path we're going down. I think the most empowering thing for me has been to take ownership of my life, to acknowledge that I am in charge of pretty much everything that is happening in my life. Like, if I'm not happy with something, I get to change it. If I hate my job, I don't, by the way, but if I hated my job, I get to change my job. If I hated my relationship, I get to change my relationship. You are not stuck. You're not trapped. Unless it's like domestic, then that's a whole nother, we're not even talking or touching on that right now. If that is the case, please get help. But we're not talking about that. But I'm talking about if you are not being forced into a space, then you have full range. You have full freedom. That is the word. You have freedom to change your life. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel like fucking empowering to know that you are in charge of your existence? You get to change things. Like, I say this to my dad my papa all the time, because he's like, oh, I want to go back home to the Ivory Coast, but I'm not too sure, and blah, 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 blah. I know he's probably watching this, so hi dad. If you're not happy with something, you get to change it. If you don't want to be working your job for stupid hours a day and never seeing your family, you get to change that, Papa, okay? If you are not happy in this country and you want to go back home to Cote d'Ivoire, you can do that, okay? You can pack up any moment. We'll all come with you. Trust me, we're not fighting to stay in this country. It's cold as hell, okay? We'll pack up and we go. Okay. So if you're in a situation right now that you're like, F this is not what I want, this is not what I saw for myself, write out what you wanted and then write out a plan, and I mean a fucking game plan, like an action plan on how you're going to get yourself from A to B. But know and trust that where you are right now, and you best believe this, you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. If your life feels like it's falling apart and you are at rock bottom, you're supposed to be there right now. And I know it feels mean to say that, but well, to hear it, not to say it. I feel fine. Thanks for checking in on me. But you are if you're in the worst space, but if your relationship is falling apart, if your marriage is falling apart, if your friendship is falling apart, if your finances are in the gutter, you are exactly where you're supposed to be, because there is a lesson that you need to learn in this moment in time that is going to propel you into the future, that will allow you to be living the life that you have always dreamed of. And I believe that with every fiber of my fucking being right now. I closed my business down, and at first I was like, I'm a failure. Why did I do that? Oh my god, was it a mistake? Am I wrong? I mean, that lasted like a day or two, and then I started working on another business because it's just the way my brain operates. But I was literally like, oh my god, like, what have I just done? Maybe I should go back and open it up again. And then I had to pause and be like, do you know what? No, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. The way you're feeling right now, the fear, the overwhelm, the confusion, the embarrassment, like, you're supposed to feel that right now, because in 5 years' time, when you are running a multi-million, maybe even billion, pound company, and you're looking back, you're going to be like, oh, that's why I did what I did. That's why the company didn't work out for me. That's why the first one I had to close down. That's why this person had to leave my life. That's why this relationship had to end. That's why this particular thing had to happen. There's always a lesson. God is never like just doing things for banter. He's always doing it because there's a lesson attached to it that's allowing you to propel forward. If you acknowledge it and take ownership of that lesson when it comes in, if you dismiss it, he's going to keep giving you the same lesson over and over and over again. But if you acknowledge it when it happens, it will your life forward, like slingshot you into the next part of your life in the best way possible. And it's down to you to acknowledge that. So right now, you are exactly where you need to be, because there is something that is happening in your life that you need to learn from, that you need to grow from, that you need to become the better version of yourself from this situation, in this timeline where you are right now. And I'm going to leave it there. Besitos.